Hello, everybody. How's it going? This is LTM here. I am in my living room. Hope you all like the Halloween decorations my mom did there. She did such a good job with that. I am over here by the TV about to watch Hocus Pocus 2. Now, just so you guys know, before I start the movie, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. This may give me I'm going to get a lot of eyebrows raised when I say this. I am not a huge fan of the first film. I've seen the first film 5 or 6 times growing up, but I have never been a fan of the original. My family's a big fan. My mom, my sister, stepsister, half of my family, most of my family loves the original, but for me, kind of find it a bit overrated. Though then again, I don't know that many critics I really got into the first film. However, I do know it has the original has a cult following. It has been a Halloween tradition for those who love to go trick or treating or for those who love Halloween. And the movie has a cult following, basically. And well, there's a reason why we have a sequel 30, 40 years later. I can't remember how long the original's been out. But anyways, the movie, I have not seen any reviews on this movie yet. I'm hoping they're slightly better. Maybe they're not. They may not be good. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen what the Rotten Tomatoes score looks like. But I'm going to try to be optimistic. Like I said, I was not able to watch the first film before I started doing this review. So if I kind of forget some things, I apologize. Well, I won't go over too many details on spoilers or anything because technically you'll probably go and watch it once I'm done with this review. But anyways, I'm going to go into it. I'll go into this film with an open mind. I'm just going to leave you guys here, and then once the movie's over, I'll give you all my final thoughts. I'll be right back. Well, guys, that was Hocus Pocus 2. Hang on, I'm going to turn this camera around, but okay, just got done watching Hocus Pocus. Hope the camera's on right. Okay. Just got done watching the film. So like I said at the beginning of this, I never got into the original Hocus Pocus, but I will admit the first movie had the three witches, which are usually like the best part of the film, and the fact that it is set around Halloween. And if you really think about it, not many Halloween films are really set around Halloween, not counting the horror series. But, that's all I know. Now, in terms of the sequel, strangely enough, I actually do prefer this movie over the original. Now, that's not saying much, but if I had to watch which film to watch again, it would have to be this one. However, it's got some problems. Let's start with the problems first. The story is it's the same movie as the last film. I won't spoil too much, but basically, it's kind of the same movie. Two girls light up a candle, and the witches come back, and of course, the witches put a spell on the city or the town, and then the fact that they brought back the zombie from the original, and there's also virgin references like they was in the first film. Some of them are kind of the same gags. It's the same exact story of the original, but with a different cast. Well, at least the main characters are different. There are some references and stuff like that, which are for any nostalgic fans who love the original film. That's pretty cool, but at the same time, everything's repeated. It's been done before. Though they just change a few bits here and there, and they don't do really anything twisty or interesting. The main characters are so cookie cutter and so bland. I did not care for the main characters. I didn't hate them, but I'll give the first movie, the original, this. The main character in the first film, except for the little girl, which I found it pretty annoying in the original, the main character was at least relatable. You understand the character was going through. In this one, these two teenage girls didn't care for him. I could care less. They were just so bland and forgettable. I don't like the main characters. The product placements, there's not too much in this film, but the one that really kind of felt cringeworthy was the stuff involving Walgreens. And in fact, even in the last few minutes of the film, they even say, "Let's go to Walgreens" or something like that at the very end, and it's kind of patronizing. I don't mind product placement in a film, but only when it's done right. And the Walgreens stuff just kind of dragged. It didn't need to. You didn't really need it. I mean, there's some funny moments in it, but you really didn't need that Walgreens scene. It just kind of felt pointless, and the product placements just kind of felt unnecessary. But with that said, what improves this one over the original... Sorry, it's the camera. What improves this one over the original is there are some really good moments in this film. I really enjoyed now the witches, you know, they're the same as last time, but I do prefer some of the moments here than the original. I thought the witches are the best part of this film, just like in the original. They look like they're having a really fun time with their roles, and they really feel like they're really having a good time. The acting's okay. The backstory between the witches, while kind of pointless and it doesn't really add much to the plot, it is pretty interesting to see these three witches as these little girls, and the little girls that play the young witches do a really good job. And the backstory is kind of interesting and kind of something. I wish the whole movie was a prequel, and I think that would have been really cool. But then again, that's just me. I do think the effects are decent. In the original, I mean, I understand the original was made in the 90s, so I wasn't really going to ask that many questions about that. But either way, I just didn't like the effects in the original. This one, they upped it up a little bit, and they are much better to look at. There are some funny moments, and remember that part where I said about the Walgreens stuff? Well, as unnecessary as the Walgreens scene was, at the very least, it's really fun just watching these witches taste the perfume and think that they're poison and stuff like that. That was pretty funny. There are like I said, there's a scene where they repeat the first film where they're at this competition and they're putting a spell on the town, and it's kind of a fun and nostalgic scene. That's pretty cool, especially the fact that they're singing one way or another. But then again, that's just my opinion. So overall, guys, not bad. Not great though. If you love the original, I think it's safe to say you'll have a fun time here, despite the fact that it is kind of a repeat of the first film. But for those who haven't seen the original, that's going to be a hard one. But I'm going to leave that up to you guys. If you're not really that curious, or if you're not really a fan of it in general like me, I say don't give this a watch. But if you are very curious, I will say go check it out. For me, I enjoyed parts of it, and while as unnecessary as the sequel is, I can understand why it was made. And I'm glad I watched it. It didn't waste any of my time. Was it perfect? No, but I'm glad I saw it. Overall score, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's got some moments, it's got some good stuff, but it could have been a lot better. Alright guys, that's my Hocus Pocus 2 review. What's your opinion on the original? Please subscribe, comment below, let me know. This is LTM signing out, and I'll see you guys next time.